What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of Games Up podcast. We're reunited for the Christmas period.
Indeed, for a brief spell.
Well, the three of us have reunited. We're
Yes.
one down, but we won't go into that, and we will be for the future. I am one of your hosts, Cameron McCulloch-Keeble, and I'm joined as ever by
Lawrence Tidley.
who's another one of your hosts, and
Lewis.
him. And we are individually three boring people, and then when we get together, we're three boring people who make a podcast. So,
We're like the Portuguese man of war of boring people. And podcasts.
and boring people podcasts.
Yes.
Should we get to it?
Yes.
Let's start, as we always do, with the news. And we have the smallest news lot we've ever had. We have 10 headlines. Which
It's
is
so
great.
strange if it's under 30.
Alright, number one. 343 Industries has announced that it will make amends for the state in which they released the Master Chief Collection. They will be providing players with access to another remastered map, as well as Halo ODST.
I think I need some backstory. What did they do horribly wrong?
The game, basically.
Right. They did a Unity.
Yeah, pretty much. It was
I find that's happening a lot these days.
Yeah.
worrying.
There's been quite a few studios that have done this and released games in just terrible states. Have you seen
In fairness, though, all of the SimCity and all of the online stuff, that was released really crappy before it was popular to be so. Before it was cool.
SimCity was the hipster of the broken age.
Did you hear about this thing about with Assassin's Creed Unity? They released like a apology DLC.
Yeah.
We're Dowie.
Yeah, they literally released the DLC and it's like and I think they
Press X
gave someone
to be
they
sorry.
gave people a free game, I think, or something like that.
If
It was
you-
like your right to complain is gone if you take the free game.
Yeah, if you
Drink
own
the Kool-Aid.
if you own the season pass, if you bought the season pass, firstly you're a fool. No, if you bought the season pass, they're giving away a game. You can get Black Flag, Far Cry 4, or The Crew, and you can get it for free, which is pretty good. I think you had to own the season pass before they announced it, because I saw the season pass in a shop yesterday for 25 quid, and I thought, Far Cry 4. And if you didn't own the season pass, you get I think it's a couple extra missions and a bit of multiplayer or something. But if you accept it, you forego your right to complain about it.
Right then. But to be honest, you're probably not going to get anything else but that.
No,
No, I think
exactly.
they were saying that they would offer refunds or something. I think, but
Oh,
that
really?
was it was that or that, like refunds or the free game. Whatever.
Either or.
I believe so.
What, like full
Maybe.
full
I'm not
refund?
sure.
That's
I
not
remember
bad.
hearing something about it.
The fact that they've acknowledged it at all is good.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
I'm more annoyed about their review policy, their embargoes.
Did they release an embargo, one of those after the...
Yeah, the embargo
date.
was the
Oh,
embargo
I hate
for
this.
reviews was 12 hours after the game launched.
Oh, they knew it was deep fried shit. Of course they
Yeah.
did.
Meaning that
Well, that's the thing.
there
If
is-
you
With Dowie, now you've all bought the game.
Yeah.
if you go onto your favorite gaming site and something hasn't got a review already up like the day before or something like that, then you know there's something wrong.
You should be worried.
yeah, embargoes on the day is usually a good sign.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of embargoes launch on the pull up on the day of launch.
But it's when I've done it before where I've looked on a website like the day after it's launched and there's been no review and you're like,
Yeah.
this is definitely a game that should have a review.
The other thing you want to look out for is if there's no review, is there a mention of we have it, it's coming? Because a lot of sites, like now, especially with multiplayer and things, they'll do a thing where they don't review day one because they need to test servers and so on and so forth. But they do put up a thing saying, "Don't worry, it's okay." The worst thing is if the company hasn't shipped a review copy.
Okay,
To
that's
that
a bad
website.
sign. That's a sign of
Yeah.
disorganized.
If they haven't
bad faith.
shipped a copy of the game to that website, don't buy it. Just wait. You're not going to.
I think there was some studio recently that had some sort of terrible review policy. I'm just trying to remember what it was.
Ubisoft.
No, probably.
No. There have been a couple of others as well in recent years. Was it Capcom?
Possibly, actually.
I know that Alien Colonial Marines had a pretty bad trade embargo deal. I mean, I think it was about 6 hours afterwards.
They had this one for YouTube reviews where it's like if you wanted to play the game, then you had to be like, have 2 minute ads in your videos, mention how good and fun the game is. I don't know what it was
Shadow
actually.
of
that-
Mordor.
It was, yeah, it was Shadow of Mordor. That's what it
Oh
was.
yes,
Which
yeah,
had the
yeah.
very constricted
like-
document that you had to
Yes.
affix your affidavit to.
You had to like blog about it and have like a Facebook and a Twitter post about
Like
it.
a weighty iron attached to your soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
And that happened with Capcom and Street Fighter 5, didn't it?
Mm.
That they, or at least they pulled a whole lot of videos that were talking about. Because when they announced it, they announced, hey, it's coming, but it's console exclusive to PS4. And lots of people received the press pack and did their job, but then talked about console exclusivity, and they pulled all the videos.
Yeah.
There's a fairly famous Angry Joe, I think, who's a fairly famous YouTube guy
yeah.
who talks. He did a video where he tried to post the same video a few times because they kept pulling it, and each time he posted it, he made this video longer of, like, you've sent me this stuff, you've given me access to your press materials, you've given me stuff to use, I'm doing what I'm told. So yeah, that was a shame. But yeah, generally not good for.
No.
How do we? Yeah. So
We waddled all of this
Yeah,
all the
we-
way from
Master Chief Collection,
Master Chief.
which released in a fucked up state. The matchmaking didn't work
Oh.
to an extent, still doesn't. Certain playlists weren't there. The game was chugging. It was generally broken. And if you bought it and played it up to the 19th of December, you can get you'll get free Xbox Live Gold. You'll get Halo ODST. You'll get the map, which is lovely.
That's a nice recompense.
But it's a bit shit considering the game is still not functional.
They haven't
Yet.
patched it to functionality.
Not to a decent amount of functionality. Certainly
Taking
not.
their time about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly not to that which was shown. And this is kind of worrying because they have a game out in November. if other Halo releases are to be believed and the beta is to be believed, they have a game out in November. They've now got to put ODST in this pre-existing, already broken Master Chief collection, and you can only get it if you played until the 19th of December. If you've owned the game up to the day of this announcement, we'll give you this free. But it's still fairly broken, so it seems like recompensing some of the whole is a bit
Yeah.
cheeky.
Personally, it's the kind of thing where if you're at this point, don't buy it. Probably because most of the things that have made it broken will not be sufficiently ameliorated by the patch, and you won't get the recompense.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this one of those ones we're going to see be selling for like £4 in a few months though?
Yeah,
'Cause there are-
maybe.
okay.
It's
There was-
possible.
There are a few games that have been like that. I'm just trying to think of a good example where
Well,
they've been
Unity's
like,
a good example.
Oh.
That thing, that like considering that it launched a month and a bit ago. I mean, as a fair ballpark for it, Far Cry 4 launched a week and a bit later,
yeah,
and that's selling. I haven't seen that anywhere cheaper than 40 quid. And I bought Assassin's Creed last night for 18.
yeah, that's bad.
Would you? I mean, looking around, I haven't played this game. So is there a strong multiplayer focus? Is there?
What? Master Chief.
Oh, this is the Master Chief collection, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
this is all the multiplayer and all the.
As opposed to, but well, fair enough.
So it's a fairly 50-50 focus.
It's unlikely
Yeah.
to drop down to £4 just because if they
Yeah.
need to maintain
Well.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have seen it sold for. It's going for about 30 at the minute in certain places, and that's. I mean, even like it. The worst thing is that like if you don't want the multiplayer, it's arguably incredible value. It will be interesting to see the state of that game when we next get together to record things.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
We should perhaps report back. Number 2. 2 games have been announced to be heading to us here in the West from them there in the East. Not that we have enough
Those far and
mentality
distant.
or anything. The first one is One Piece Pirate Warriors 3, which is coming to all PlayStation systems and Steam. And the second is J-Stars Victory VS Plus, which is just PS systems.
I know neither of those titles nor any
Wow.
of their heritage and pedigree.
I'm assuming One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 is something to do with the anime series. But
I imagine so. Yes.
wouldn't know. So
Come on, you're a.
I just want Katamari Damacy.
Is that not?
It is, but I think it's only on. It's on something. I can't remember what it's on.
I will Google that.
It's
while
on
we-
not
something.
sure.
Well, it would
I
have
feel
to
like
be
it's
on
exclusive.
something.
I'm
It's
not sure.
I'll have a look at that.
Timed exclusive.
What?
Exclusive
What,
to
no,
like
it's
Sun
exclusive-
years ago.
and
exclusive
Moon
to a
and
place.
Stars.
Like,
Exclusive to a piece of technology that will not work 20 years from now.
Number 3, January's games with gold have been announced, and they are as follows. For the Xbox One, you get D4, which is Dark Dreams Don't Die, or David Dimbleby Dotes on Dingoes.
I always thought Dark Dreams Don't Die is like the name for a Death Cab
popular
for Cutie
video game that is available on...
or that. Or you could just cut me off. That's
Sorry.
fine too. Anyway, carry on.
And...
Because that dark joke just died.
Oh, very good. And for the 360, for the first half of the month, you get MTX versus ATV Alive. No idea what that is. And for the second half of the week, you get Witcher 2 for free.
Not bad.
Oh.
Which will keep you going for the rest of the year, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Number 4, the UK retailer Game has announced pre-order bonuses for the remake of Majora's Mask. It's only for the standard edition, which is nice. It's nice to see that actually fairly valuable things are being given away with standard edition, and it's a fancy paperweight with the famously terrifying mask in it.
Okay, fair enough.
Cool.
I would have thought I would have had more to say on that, but no.
Yeah,
not
I would
really.
have thought so.
Yeah.
Number 5, Norman Reedus has given a slight update on the upcoming Silent Hills game, and has stated that the heavy stuff is yet to be filmed, suggesting that the game is a little bit away in the future, shall we say?
Right then, so it's possible they may have put the teaser out maybe a little bit too soon.
Yes.
This sounds
Maybe.
like Hideo Kojima logic.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5 is supposed to be at right at the tail end of next year, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that game has been
Oh,
on our
that was-
radars for...
Yeah. The demo's been on since at least the start of this year.
It was late last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I want to say it came out November last year.
I'm not sure.
I will double check that, but I want to say it came out last year.
Yeah, maybe actually.
Number 6, an update will soon add 4-player co-op to Guacamelee Super Edition,
Oh.
Super Championship Turbo Edition,
Yeah.
but only if you own it on the PS4. The Super Championship Turbo Edition is available on, I think, all other platforms except PS. I want to say it's next gen and PC.
Yeah.
But it won't. But there's no mention of this update going to everyone else yet. So
No.
fair enough. It was PS exclusive to start with, so that's a fairly good place to go. Number 7, this is the one I know that you're all going to be crazy excited about. The Angry Birds movie is coming out on July 2016. The 1st of July 2016.
Yay.
Yeah.
Do they
Pre-order your tickets now.
do they
Yeah.
have concrete and
Oh, wouldn't it be great
And
if
limbs.
tickets came with a pre-order bonus?
Yeah.
You've chosen to go to the super comfortable seats. You can have this bird.
at the
Wow.
end of it you have to throw your birds into the
The screen.
screen.
And the poor guys who are sweeping up afterwards. Number 8, GTA 5 is currently enjoying a festive update which adds various costumes and weapons and paraphernalia and all that stuff to GTA Online, as well as coating the online map in a lovely haze of snow, which is lovely.
It'd be interesting if that affected the friction on the cars and made them impossible to handle.
Well, if people try to drive around, they can't get up hills and things.
Assistive braking.
But we will get back to that story in a minute with another story. Number 9, developer Vlambeer, sorry if I said that wrong, has announced that players who adopted their game on early access will be given a second copy of the game for free to be gifted to somebody else or kept. The game is called Nuclear Throne.
Well, given I haven't heard of it, that's probably a very good... I mean, that's not a gauge of anything, because I apparently live in a monastery. But probably a good
One of
tactic
those video game monasteries.
Yeah.
It has to be.
to get actually people to know what Nuclear Throne is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good way to treat early access in general, I think.
Yeah.
Number 10, of course, the big news of the week is the seemingly endless attacks on various online game services.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
the back and forth.
Yeah. Throughout the Christmas period, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and Steam have all had down periods of time, some of which were major, and some of which, if not most of which, caused by various attacks from various hacker groups. And because of this, certain online things have been extended. I believe this was the Steam sale extended, or
I'm not
was
sure.
it just long in general?
Long in general, but actually it might have been extended.
Certain in-game
Doesn't
things
matter.
have been extended. The GTA Online thing has been extended. Destiny's Zero has been extended, and various other things. Zero is like a character in the game. Various other things have been extended. So Do we have any thoughts on this?
Well, obviously cyber attacks are bad,
Yep.
I think. Do you agree, Lewis?
Yes.
Yes. Let us all agree that the law is correct.
Yes.
Right, yes.
Yeah, so I think the bigger thing that we should say about this is if you did get a console for Christmas, sorry, it's not usually like this. Stick with it, it's worth it usually, and if you're one of the people who took it down, fuck off. Basically.
Indeed.
You're not helping anyone, go and do something else. Generally, fuck off. And that was the news.
Nice.
Not bad.
Newsworthy week. Indeed.
Anything else we think needs to be added to that?
Can you think of anything?
No.
As we have previously established, I live in a monastery, and
Telltale-
news gets to me.
Telltale announced a Minecraft game.
Did they? Oh.
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh yeah.
But I don't know whether that was this week or not.
I didn't know it's actually by Telltale though.
Yeah.
Minecraft, the story.
It
is,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is just that, and I
Minecraft story mode.
feel
in
terribly
fact.
about it.
Really?
Phil Tarrant, you disagree?
Well, let's just say that ever since... Well, actually, no. Microsoft's entire take of Minecraft, everything, the collective sum of everything that they've done with Minecraft, just get rid of it.
What? They've done nothing.
No, but the thing
It
is,
was-
they like, if you own... Like, I think they destroyed the point when they made Minecraft on consoles. Because, you know, like on Microsoft, if you want... On Microsoft, on Xbox...
Mm-hmm.
Things like skins cost money.
Yeah.
Texture packs, all that kind of stuff costs money. Like, and I think
It's
the
not
whole
become a
thing,
playground.
yeah, the whole thing is meant to be this kind of like, you can do what you like in the game. You know, you can create mods and you can create cool things and you can make your own like things.
Couldn't that be said of like every game between PC and console?
How do you mean?
Well, like it doesn't. You know, it's free to mod anything on PC. It's just a risk to do it.
Yeah, but it's not just modding. It's like when you're talking about like skins, I think you're being a bit.
No, yeah, skins are a fair
Curmudgeonly.
point, but argue.
Shouldn't have done that.
I'm going to edit that
Humour.
out. I'm going to try to. I don't know. I think Minecraft on consoles is a really cool idea. Like, I think
Dad's got it.
I feel the
Good for him.
idea of a story mode is rather missing the point of Minecraft,
Yeah, that's the
or
other
some
thing.
kind of story-esque. But then again, I've had endless mods telling me that I'm not playing the story the right way, so I guess the moral of that is everyone can have their different take on what makes a good Minecraft game.
so according to the source that let this out, Minecraft Story Mode will be a narrative-driven video game created by Telltale Games set in the Minecraft universe, with focus on an original story driven by player choice, but it won't be like the story of Minecraft. Like it won't be the story of Steve and the story of Minecraft. It's
Right,
just
okay.
a story set in the universe.
Okay.
Hero Brain. That's what we want. There's lots
You'll
of
have to show up at some point. Like.
I like the idea of there being a Minecraft universe. I'm not sure I even agree with that.
It's a bit bare bonesy to put anything in.
That's true.
The tyranny of the 1 meter by 1 meter block by 1 meter.
I don't know how I feel about it. I think that the problem is, I think they've worked out that their market isn't the people who want to create cool things. It's people who are 12 years old and want to buy
And
fancy
have
skins.
all that money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they want to look like a kitty cat. Okay, they want to buy skins so they can look like a kitty cat.
But
all right,
We used to just be able to get them because we had.
But you still can. Is the point?
What's the point in buying a skin if there's a whole marketplace of free ones?
Because maybe people can't play it on PC. Maybe people aren't confident enough to like. I'm not
So
good.
this is for an
I'm not good.
exclusively for the Xbox version.
No,
Yeah.
this is in general. In PS, PlayStation sells skins as well, and I think skins get sold on. I think they get sold on the Pocket Edition for like iPod and iPhone.
I
and
don't
stuff,
see the
but-
point of buying a skin. Really?
No, I don't either. But I
Yeah.
can see why people do.
I'm just not looking forward to the point where they are at some point going to make a Minecraft 2, and because now it's owned in fairness by Microsoft, it's going to be, even on PC edition, I'm willing to bet it's going to be pay for your skins, pay for your texture packs, everything like that.
This is how Microsoft usually handles their affairs.
Yeah, it'll be, I don't know, it'll just be restrictive.
I don't know if a Minecraft 2 will happen, and if it does, I don't think we'll see it anytime soon. I think they're probably open to thinking about it, certainly. And they've said as much in places, but they haven't confirmed or denied it. I think the Minecraft Telltale thing's a great idea. I think of all the people to craft stories of nothing, Telltale are brilliant at it. Like, The Walking Dead is a fairly open book universe in terms of the stories they could have gone with, and they did a great job. Let's face it, nobody plays Borderlands for the story. Or very few people.
I played it for the story, but then I'm unimaginative.
But, like, when you played did you play the first one for the story?
I played the first one for the story.
Maybe, maybe not, but I think, like... I still like the idea of a story within the Borderlands universe. I think that would be quite interesting.
I guess I didn't play it for the story, more for the characters. It was just hilarious.
Yeah, that's true.
The comedic value alone.
And I think if anybody can make a story that exists but doesn't intrude, Telltale could do a good job.
If you want to just use Minecraft game in the same way that players use it, as a playground to put your own ideas into, then making a story in that context would be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
In fact, it'd be in the spirit of the Minecraft game. But if you were to constrict it into this is to put further canon in that would constrict the shape of it, that would be not in the spirit.
That's true. We'll have to see how they actually handle it. But I'm optimistic at the idea, certainly.
I don't know. I just feel bad about the Minecraft milking machine. It's all it is these days.
What?
You've got your
your
Minecraft books.
I don't think it is. Like,
That's
I
true,
got
they
a
have made a
Minecraft
lot
book
of-
and it's fucking beautiful.
It's true, the merchandise is. Yes.
Yeah, but
I
mean, the merchandise was a thing.
No.
Like, the merchandise has been a thing for years. I don't think it's any more good or evil of recent times.
Well, it wasn't necessarily going for the Microsoft thing, evil though they may be.
No, I was just
But
saying,
just
like,
the whole
of recent
construct
times.
of all the money that that Mojang have built around it.
But then, to be fair to them, and very fair to them, Mojang are a pretty good company. Like, they're certainly a good.
They've got their right idea towards mods.
Yeah, that's true. And am I right in thinking they did something with Scrolls? That they gave Scrolls away or something like that?
Scrolls.
Yeah, they released, the second game. There's Minecraft Scrolls and Cobalt.
I have no idea what you're talking
Well, Scrolls
I've
is
no idea
another.
either.
Scrolls is another
Monastery.
game Scrolls is another game from Minecraft, and I get the feeling that they did something or away. They gave
haven't
something
played
away
it in
or
so
gave
long.
a bit. Free or
Minecraft, the
whatever.
Younger Scrolls.
You can try it for free.
Oh.
That was less.
Just like
aggressive.
a Minecraft.
Yes, I suppose so. But generally, Mojang are a pretty good company, and I think of all the places that I'd be willing to say, here, have money, Mojang are a good one to go.
I just don't like the influence of Microsoft. I just don't like Microsoft. Let's put it that way. That's all this boils down to.
And you're the one with the Windows computer.
Hey,
Yeah.
look, I don't even like Windows. Right?
What,
You just-
what do
you live
prefer?
with it.
But it's the better of the... Well, for what I want to do with it, it's the better of the two.
It's
If
like
you-
anyone. It's like anyone living in this country that doesn't like potatoes. You only eat one potato dish a day.
If you could choose an OS system to be perfect, which one would you go for then?
What do you mean exactly? Like change if the OS was changed to be perfect, or
Yeah, like if you could mold it to your will.
it'd probably still be Windows.
Okay.
I don't really like the way Mac works, or the way whatever it is, Apple OS. I don't know actually. I haven't used Ubuntu. Maybe that's like secretly the beautiful thing on the other side of the hill. It's like over the fence,
And far
over the,
away.
out the windows, I guess.
Teletubby. Come to...
Indeed.
Should we go on to a topic?
Let's.
Yeah.
Right then. Does anybody want to pitch the topic, or should we just go for it? Fuck it, let's go for it. Our topic of the week is what we consider to be Game of the Year.
Ah, yeah.
So, Lewis, do you want to put forward a nomination?
Okay, so my nomination is Far Cry 4.
Far Cry 4.
I've played a lot of this game.
Okay.
You are struggling.
I'm struggling with my beer. It's okay.
Yeah, so I played a lot of that game, and there's just so much stuff to do. It's like it is very similar to Far Cry 3, not massively different, but that it was a winning formula for that game, and it's still winning in this game.
Okay.
And there's just so much to do. That like I have not got scraped the surface of this game so far. I think like
It's Skyrim with guns.
well, they've done a very good job of putting lots
And,
more into it.
and everything wants to kill you.
Yeah.
So Skyrim
Yeah.
with guns.
Yeah. But no, it's really, really fun, really enjoyable. Actually, don't regret getting it at all. I don't think what else I can say about it. Lots of things, so many things.
All the things.
So Far Cry 4 you're putting forward.
Yeah.
Ubisoft developed, of course.
Yes.
We've got to give them props and things. Do you have any that you want to put forward?
Again, I'm gonna call
Farming Simulator.
Monastery here. Yeah, farming.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about Borderlands. I mean, I have friends that play it, and watching it, it's the same Borderlands structure
Yeah.
as far as I can tell.
But you can double jump.
Oh, wonderful! do they know it's
You
Christmas?
can drop down. So honestly, like after you played it, go back to
be honest,
Borderlands 2, and you'll be like, "Why aren't I double jumping?"
although I'm usually the first to call foul on someone just repeating the same old formula, you know, I like Borderlands, so more
Yeah.
Borderlands away. It may
Yeah.
not necessarily be particularly amazing, but then nothing has been. I would say no. Well, I would agree that the Fallout, Far Cry 4 was a particularly showcase of prettiness. But again, it's the same thing. It's
Yeah, it is very similar.
It's Far Cry. So that's my nomination.
Okay.
I'll tell you the one thing I don't like about Borderlands. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You never know. Like the characters, you don't know if their abilities are good when you like choose your character, and some of the characters just don't have good abilities.
Yeah, that's true.
You get,
Are you speaking from experience with Claptrap? Or
well, actually, I like Claptrap.
I like Claptrap.
I think if you go a certain way, I'm trying to remember. Like you have the 3 trees, and like most of the time, I find that one tree is like good abilities, and the other ones are like I don't really care.
yeah.
Mediocre.
And then the other ones are like, they're not even useful, but like if you were willing to play such a restrictive playstyle, you could just about use them. You know.
Yeah.
Like for Krieg's a good example in Borderlands 2. It's like he's got a tree that's like skills that work when you're on fire. So they're only actually like skills that do stuff when you are on fire.
And you need to be very good at situational.
Yeah. Although to be honest, Krieg is the best character. But anyway.
And most frequently on fire, probably.
Yes.
Borderlands is an interesting one. You play it on PC.
Yes.
Did you ever play the PS3 copies that we got? Or...
No, I didn't.
That's a shame.
Why is it much different?
I have had a couple of running issues with it on current gen, and that's why I would be willing to put money down on this table that we're recording at, that this game is coming to next gen within half a year.
Oh yeah.
Because
sure it is
looking
anyway.
round at it, it feels like a next gen game that somebody's pushed down.
Yeah.
So
It wouldn't surprise me. It's
Done a double Watch Dogs.
the money
a
machine.
double Watch Dogs. Is that like
GTA.
That's where you downgrade it and then downgrade it again from.
Hold on, surely a double Watch Dogs is a Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
Because that was on 360 at least, because that was downgraded on current gen. So.
Yes, wasn't it made sufficient? Well, it was made sufficiently pretty so that it could actually run on current gen. And was it made? I mean, it wasn't
less pretty on
made for last gen, was it?
Yeah, it came out on last gen.
And was it made even less pretty for that?
Well, it's gonna have to be.
Well, I don't know. It may be
I'll have
that
a
it was
look.
possible to.
It came out on PC de-prettified, and I'm pretty sure they're going to release a Watch Dogs Definitive Edition or something.
Definitive of the Year edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely came out on previous gen, so it's gonna look less pretty.
I don't know. I can't stand the. I think they're going to always do this when it's 2 consoles between them, and it's always like release something for the earlier console, and then release it again for the new console.
Yeah.
And then, if you have gone and bought 2 consoles, You'll go and buy 2 games.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't, because
Well, somebody must. That's the thing with all this
somebody
stuff. It's
has to, like
Yeah, like
Cameron,
him.
for
Yeah.
instance.
Genuinely, it was worth it though, because I wanted to play through GTA again, and
In shiny,
now I
shiny
got-
graphics.
and then I got to pay to do it. I'm going to put forward 4. I'm going to put forward Titanfall, which we've just spent the past 3 hours playing.
Yes.
Sunset Overdrive, Mario Kart 8, and PT.
Okay. PT is an interesting choice. It is
Yeah.
definitely an interesting choice.
Perry
Especially 'cause-
Tunstall.
Yes,
Yes,
I'm putting forward Perry Tunstall.
Perry Tunstall, the
Katie Tunstall.
the interactive life drama.
Is that like, is Perry Tunstall a person? Because what I'm
I
picturing
presume
now
that-
is the love child of Perry the Platypus and Katie Tunstall.
Well,
Anyway.
conceivably, there must be someone with all the vast number of humans on this lovely planet called Perry Tunstall.
Hello,
I'll
Perry
Google
Tunstall,
it.
if you're listening.
Yeah, please. Perry Tunstall.
Shouts
if you're
out to
listening.
Perry Tunstall.
If you're listening, drop us a message. We'll get you a game or something. PT is an interesting choice, you say.
So, philosophical question, almost.
Yeah.
Can a demo ever be considered a game?
Further
Well-
philosophical. Sorry, no, you go.
Well, Hideo Kojima thought so when he made people spend all that money for Ground Zeroes.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Further interesting. But there is a Perry Tunstall. He's a lawyer in Birmingham.
Ah, excellent.
So I might know him. Do you consider PT a demo?
Didn't they call it a demo?
They called it a demo, but they then went on to say that it was a showcase of what the other game would be. So it's not like this is the first 15 minutes of
Yeah.
Silent Hills. It's like a concept game.
Don't know. I was only really being silly, but
No, it's a fair question.
I don't know. I think it was definitely a very good game. Very good demo.
Hand-wettingly good.
Yeah. I don't know. The only thing I would say about that game specifically is if you don't know what you're doing, it is possible to run around for 2 hours doing nothing.
Getting
Yeah.
strategically mauled by horrors
Just
from
going round in
beyond
circles.
time and
Or squares.
space
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
and the
It is a
grave or
very
whatever.
specific.
No one actually knows. Well, actually, I don't know if they do now, but there was like
I think they do.
there's like a way of progressing, and there's a certain point you can get to just by kind of just going around, and then there's this certain thing you have to do. And the thing is, if you look it up, it's sort of like things like
You have to
stand and look at the phone for 30 seconds or something.
Yeah.
It's like one of them, and then it's like you need to walk around and wait for a squeak. And the thing is, no one's actually got this like definitive knowledge of actually what you need to do. It's just people have
They've
done
just-
it in different ways.
Well, there are multiple different ways to do it.
Yeah.
Stand still and get mauled to death by.
No, yeah.
Ugh.
It is so good though. It's the thing about it is that the fact that just saying it alone makes you respond like that.
Saying
'Cause
it
I
makes
couldn't,
me
like-
think of it. And
Yeah.
when I think of it,
No, but when you like Dead Space,
yeah.
see that doesn't have the same reaction. Or
Dead Space 2.
Silent Hills 4, or Resident Evil 4, Silent Hills 2. Like you can think about them and not
I
have the
dunno.
same reaction, but there's something
I don't know.
Normally-
Silent Hill
inherently
Silent Hills
about
are-
There's
PT.
something. There's something about most. Well, usually there's some in a scary game there is a scary moment. It's the distilled
Yeah.
essence of the scariness that adds it to the rest of the
Mhm.
thingy. And with
I know what it is.
PT, they worked out exactly what those things are. They worked out how that if you
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you have to stand and watch at the phone, if you don't turn around, or if
Yeah.
you do turn around at certain points, you'll get
Mm.
killed. So there's a sense of agency, a sense of haste to it all. But if they make you stare at a phone for 30 seconds, it's that, yeah, we know what terrifies you, and we're doing it
Yeah,
because we're pushing your buttons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an absolute lesson in tension building.
Hmm.
I think I've been told what you have to do is you have to find what is possessed in the place,
Mm-hmm.
and so you'll go if you go towards the phone. You know when you were talking about turning around.
Yeah.
You'll hear like a gurgling or something, which is like what the actual
Yeah.
that's when it happens.
I
But
was trying to gurgle. I couldn't do that.
It's creepy. It is a good game though. What else is on the list? I've completely forgotten.
Titanfall, Sunset Overdrive, Borderlands the pre-sequel, Far Cry 4, Mario Kart 8.
Okay. Titanfall. Stuff
Okay.
like Titanfall. Really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Dissect your opinion.
Oh yeah.
You're wrong. You're all of you wrong.
Here's what I would say. I've always said this to you guys, but I've always found this the idea that people play something like Call of Duty and they get like level 50 prestige or whatever. I don't even know what the words are. They've played for like 100 hours and they've got every single thing, and I always found it really strange that anyone would actually do that, because it just seemed like an immense, well, it is a minute, it's a waste of time, let's be honest, but
more so than
it
games
still
are
is.
usually.
It still is. But I never really understood how you could keep playing a game for that long. But I find that Titanfall, although I don't actually own it yet, I find that I would do that. I would play it for that many times. I would just keep playing it. Like I could genuinely just come home every day and play that game. Yeah.
And I think like one of the things that makes that really doable is the fact that you level up quite quickly, and then they clean your slate quite quickly, and it's really refreshing to play, because it's not just, it's multiplayer in the typical sense, but it feels a little bit more, because of the challenges and because of all the different the criteria you have to meet to upgrade and upgrade and upgrade. It feels a little bit more refreshing than just regular multiplayer, and the fact that the campaign is included in the multiplayer, and so that adds to your genning up and your weapons and your this, that, and the other. It's really quite clever how it all goes to one succinct goal.
Yeah.
And it's just a shock to the system that goal isn't the end of the game; it's the end of your profile.
Yeah. No, actually, I think I can see what you mean. Like, I think that is one of the things that's got an advantage. Actually, is that when you play single player games, or single player games that have a multiplayer element, you tend to trail off when you finish the single player. It tends to not be, there's no sort of fun in it after that point.
You've
Apart from
completed
Halo.
the game.
I'd say Halo is an exception to this, but
I thought that it depends on the kind of people. I mean, I had endless fun replaying Modern Warfare 1 just over and over. Same mission.
actually, I would say Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2 and actually World at War. They're the COD games that I actually like. Since then, it's just been recycled, and then they've kind of recycled it and put like jetpacks in it, and it still isn't Titanfall.
You don't like it.
I don't like it for reasons you can probably all guess. If only the practical one, because down in Hull I have terrible internet. I mean, it's true. Titanfall does work on very, very down in Hull. Yes.
Yeah, down.
It is actually, but
South
it's
in
not
Hull.
below sea level, but it's pretty damn close.
Wasn't thinking of that down, but good.
When you say it's pretty damn close
Down
you mean
to somewhere
sea
there.
level.
Yeah.
Yes. When the water
I actually use a
comes
Chinese
in.
map. That's what it is.
Yes.
What?
Upper Nile and Lower Nile. It's right. No. Hull, as some of you probably won't know, has the one remaining internet monopoly in the world, and therefore the internet is rubbish. So having to always be online, I resent the implications. I resent the fact that I may not be able to play at some point simply because my internet will kick out.
That is trouble. It's a fair criticism of a game like that.
Yeah.
But then do you blame the game? Well, actually, you do. I guess you do.
On top of that, there's also the problem of, I've seen Lewis play the campaign, and I'll be honest, the story doesn't look particularly involving.
Oh no, the story is pretty terrible as stories go.
Well, then I would level that as a big hefty complaint aimed at the head and one big bullet to the face. That's a meaningful. If it's got a bad story and the only thing is the gameplay, for me that's no.
So
But
okay.
I couldn't.
So is that Mario Kart 8 off the list as well then?
Oh, absolutely. No. Mario Kart 8 I would wheel out when there are friends around. It's brilliant for playing in groups, but I wouldn't
Oh,
play
but it doesn't have a story, Lawrence.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have a
But
story.
it's
so
just the gameplay.
As we have established,
so
multiplayer.
it's terrible.
So, okay, so could it not be argued then that the story isn't, like, the focus here is the satisfaction of the gameplay, and
Yes.
the minutiae of the gameplay is achieving goals and kills rather than furthering a story?
but I wouldn't I personally wouldn't buy a shooter with that particular focus, where I would buy a racer.
Okay.
So you're going from a personal stance rather than a...
I'm going. I'd say the idea that not to expect a story from a racer, or any particular substantial story from a racer.
No, you need to play Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Oh,
The original one.
Do I?
That's
I think I
best
have.
story in a racing
It's
game.
pulp all the guys in the cars.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyway,
I love that game. Sorry.
I don't think it's unusual to expect story from a shooter and not expect it from a racer.
Yeah, but I think it does it well. I think most of the shooters that do have multiplayer, most of the games that are released on multiplayer but have the single player story still, like Call of Duty or Halo, they tend to have like a massively like, what's that word? I guess like crazy sort of. The single player campaign tends to be like the most dramatic world, you know, the most dramatic like in Call of Duty is a good example where you're using like the missiles to you've got the missile controller and you use it to attack people that are nearby.
Yep.
And it's just like trying to make this the most dramatic game. Actually, that's a good example. Call of Duty when you're on the snowmobile running away. That's like this sort of crazy dramaticism. You know, over the top. The whole of Titanfall's like that. It's amazing. You know, you've got giant mechs and like huge guns and rocket launchers and everything. It's crazy. It's fun.
It is. It is very good fun.
Go play Titanfall.
Okay, in that
I've
case,
no doubt.
of this list,
Yes.
because this is a fairly substantial list, I'd say,
Yeah.
for Game of the Year. Where do you put? If you vote for one, where do you put your vote?
If I were to vote for one, sorry, read them out again.
So you've got Titanfall, which
Yep.
I'm guessing is a no. Sunset Overdrive, Borderlands the pre-sequel, Far Cry 4, Mario Kart 8, or PT.
Well, we've already established that I said that Borderlands the pre-sequel was my game for the year this year.
It was your submission to this. It
That
doesn't
was my
have to be your
submission.
choice.
Does that mean that well, I would never put a racing game on top of game for the year.
So should we just take Mario Kart 8 off?
Yeah, just throw
Okay.
it. It's not happening.
In that case, in 6th place, Mario Kart 8. Good try, Nintendo.
I do like the look of Sunset Overdrive, but I don't have enough knowledge about its story to make a value judgment.
Okay.
Um,
Pretty much what we showed you was its story.
yes, go around and shoot all the
Yeah.
mutants.
But yeah, fair enough.
Seems a bit xenophobic. Well, no. Anyway,
Nope.
no, it's got to be Borderlands.
Your vote is Borderlands?
My vote is Borderlands.
Okay, cool. Where would you put your vote?
I'm still tempted by Titanfall, which is interesting considering I don't own the game.
You kind of do.
Dad owns it. I just play it when I come down.
Close enough.
But then when I have been down, I've been playing it a lot. So yeah, probably Titanfall.
Yours is Titanfall. Okay. Mine would be Sunset purely because PT is a demo. If PT were if PT had been released under the guise as an indie game, it would have had it.
Yeah.
But okay, let's argue the toss out of these last three then.
Okay, so I want to ask you something about Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
While I found it fun when I was playing it, I wondered whether I'd still find it fun in 3 hours' time.
I've put about 30 hours into that game, and I'll give you that it's tailed off. I don't turn it on and think, oh, I really want to play Sunset Overdrive right now. But 30 hours is a fair amount of time to put into a game.
Yeah, definitely.
In a fairly short amount of time since its release.
It's definitely fair.
It sustains its fun for a long time, specifically through the campaign, because you've got to remember you played it at the end when
of course.
the character was OP and you had everything open. You haven't gone through those progression systems. The story is pretty generic as things go. It's typical kind of open world Saints Row-ish fare.
Yeah.
It's, one faction, you go to the next faction, you do a quest, you go to the next faction, you do a quest. But it's the writing within that makes that clever. It runs the risk of being obnoxious and fairly kind of... Do you know what I mean by obnoxiously meta? that there's things trying to like make Hodo with video game jokes, but it actually kind of pulls them off.
Okay.
And the fact that it pulls them off is what pulls you back in, because for the 10-12 hour story, it's more an interest in seeing more of the world and playing more of the systems, and it does work in that way.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a further thing.
Is it?
Do you own the base game of Titanfall or the whole kit
The whole
caboodle thing? Okay. Do you think that because it's not fair to do this by DLC as well, so we should do this by base game. Do you think the base game is enough?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think it's kind of repetitive?
Well, I mean, they've changed it a lot since when it first came out. Actually.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, but that's not all DLC. Some of it's just stuff that came out, the improvements that they made to the game. Because I mean, burn cards and the black market weren't a thing when it was released.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what does DLC? What can DLC add in a mostly multiplayer game?
It's more maps and modes generally. Like in this one, they've released a like a player versus bots mode. So there's like a way you can have like a 5-player team and you're defending a spot against loads of enemies.
A horde, as it were.
Yeah.
It is. It's kind of like Titan Horde mode, and it is really good fun.
Yeah, it was quite fun. That is DLC though. Which I think what else they've done. There's just been more maps and things like that. But even like the Titan OSs and the Titan Insignia weren't around when it was first released.
Wow. Okay.
So a lot of it's just stuff that's been released as it's gone along.
So do we mark this then by the state it was in when it was released, or the state it was in as a base game now?
I think it's better to review it from now.
A base game now. Okay. Cool.
If
If you had to put Titanfall 1, which would be your second?
out of the list or out of the three?
Out of the three.
What are the three again?
Borderlands, Sunset, Titanfall.
I'm going to put Borderlands, but only because I have played Sunset. Well, I haven't played, like... I don't know, I haven't seen enough of Sunset to review it.
Okay.
Like that.
So Borderlands is looking like a good contender.
Yeah. I think... The only thing I would say about Borderlands pre-sequel is it ended up with me playing Borderlands 2 a lot more. That was all.
Okay.
Because I'd never really completed Borderlands 2, and once we finished pre-sequel, we decided to play that one. Me and Crystal, playing on multiplayer.
Okay.
And I don't know why it drew me back to the second one, but I think we've been playing that one a lot more. I don't know.
Well, that's kind of a good thing, though.
Yeah.
And not if it overshadows
Yeah, I'm just
itself
wondering.
with another game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is I'm wondering whether I don't know what exactly is drawing me back to the old one instead of going forwards.
It can't possibly be the story.
No. We've now got we're on Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, which is where every single enemy is pretty much a badass and they're invincible.
Yes.
You start the game and like the 3 enemies that spawn right in the beginning of the game are already sort of 10 clips worth of killing. Need to go into killing them, and you've got like
Do you
the
get
ultimate
like, stupid
rifle.
amounts of XP though?
Yeah, but it's good.
That's for the new system.
Yeah. But the only thing is that
level
like once you get to level 50, all the levels after that are like 1 billion XP away.
I feel like that happened at level like 35 anyway for me.
Well, you stayed on.
Other people's stupid.
You went on True Vault Hunt, weren't you?
No.
Yeah,
But-
that's the thing.
but don't
True
you
Vault Hunt,
get-
you start getting like 20k XP per mission. So
But don't you get 1 billion XP from murdering what are now
you'd wish.
invulnerable badasses?
You wish. You wish.
Okay,
They're not invulnerable to Krieg. Krieg is so good.
I feel like I'm the only one here pushing Sunset.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's good.
Sorry.
That's what this whole discourse is about. Shall we get...
I would push Sunset for my second, if only because I'd rank it above Titanfall.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't like
that
how
puts
Call
it-
of Duty
Oh.
Titanfall is.
It's not.
So they're kind of all equal right now.
Oh.
The only thing we've so far agreed on is that Borderlands is in our top 2.
All right, just put Borderlands first.
Is that?
Just do it.
Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, no, do it. I liked it.
I'm happy with that.
I would point out that I mean, has any of us played it?
Yeah.
Played it.
You played it? Well, I guess I'm the one who's pushing it as my first.
I was
I've
going to
never
say,
actually played it
don't
myself.
too much brag about your ignorance in the subject, because it's not. We're not really
Well,
making a great advert for ourselves.
Well, I'd rather be honest.
No, I know.
Um,
You can
Yes.
separate yourself from the discourse if you'd like.
oh, see. I have this. No, I have watched plenty of it, and I'd be willing to put it up. I mean, that's only my experience with Titanfall as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Okay.
I'd be willing to put that at the top of mine.
So Borderlands.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. There you go. As a podcast, I'm sure we each have our individual things, and we'll make them known separately. But as a podcast, the Games Up Award for Game of the Year 2014. If you want an award, I don't know.
Make one.
If you want an award, get lots of people to watch us, and then we'll talk. Game of the Year 2014. Borderlands a pre-sequel.
Okay.
Hey! Well done, you Australians. It was made in Australia. I wasn't just saying well done to Australians.
Yeah.
Shall we move on quickly? What's the game? What's the indie game of the week? Lewis?
Okay, so me. I've been playing a lot of Binding of Isaac Rebirth. It was previously a Flash game, Binding of Isaac, and they've sort of redone it and made it all glitzy and nice and not pixelated, and included loads more items and things. And it's just the most fun game because you essentially. You go through a set of floors, not problems. You
A set of crystalline floors.
So you go through a set of floors, and on each floor you find an item that sort of changes your abilities. So there's lots of sort of different items that do varying effects, and every time you do a run you might end up with different powers, and the different sets of things you get kind of like mean that there's a big variance in sort of like gameplay each time you play it. I guess is what I mean. So it's not just like the boring repetitive thing. It's like every time you do it, you might end up with, you know, a super powerful laser, or you might end up with nothing. You might end up worse off. You know, like it's possible to just be unable to fight and have a fly.
That's a quasi roguelike.
That's
in
cool.
that regard.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good. There is a lot of gameplay in it, just from keep trying to like get different abilities and do different things.
Tell us about the story of the Binding of Isaac 2.
Probably better if I don't, but it's a little bit dark.
Oh right, okay.
Well, the first Binding was pretty damn dark, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is it more or less dark than
I
previous?
can't really
Binding?
say I haven't got very far in it.
Okay.
Because the way it works is you have to go down a set of floors, and each time you kind of do it, you unlock a little bit more story.
Oh, right,
Like the
okay.
original Binding of Isaac had to be completed something like 30 times before you actually unlocked the final ending. But yeah,
That's cool.
It's a large commitment of time. Yeah.
it is actually.
What's the gameplay like? Is there fighting? Is it sliding block puzzles?
Alright,
Is
so
it...
I'm trying to think of it.
Sliding
So
block
it's top down. You are Isaac.
Mhm.
Well, unless you choose a different character, which you can do. There's different characters that have different abilities that you start off with. Yeah.
Esau.
And you can... Azazel, yeah. You move around and you shoot things. And some enemies are really annoying, like spiders.
You shoot at things.
Yes.
Do you have like a...
You shoot them with your tears, okay?
You shoot them with your tears.
Yes.
What is it available on?
Let's see, PC.
Yep.
This is just me guessing at this point. I know it's available on PC.
It's on PC. It's on Steam with
Steam.
controller support and trading cards and all that.
Yeah.
And it's on Sony platforms as well. It's console exclusive to Sony stuff, so it's PS4 and Vita. It was released this year. In fact, I believe it was released in August. And it was by a company called Nicalis. Or Nicalis.
Did they do
Or Nicholas.
whatever
It could
it's
be
called?
one person called Nicholas.
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
Unlikely.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. So that was our indie game of the week. And I think that for the first time in, 3-4 months, has been an episode of the Games Up podcast. What are we all going to be playing this week and the next few months to come?
Probably more Binding of Isaac, to be honest, because it has a multiplayer mode now. Like you can do local multiplayer, which is always good for me and Crystal to play together.
Nice.
Because the funny thing is though, like you play multiplayer and it's me as like this super powerful thing, and the second player gets to be this kind of like I guess a wisp. That's sort of half as good as you and has only one heart and is really weak. So it's like, if you want to kind of like play as equals, it's not the game to play.
Right.
Loz, how about you?
If I can possibly find the time, I'll probably do a bit more free civ. I'm gradually ramping up the difficulty until I get my backside handed to me.
I will be continuing with Titanfall. I've just got a copy of AC Unity, so assuming it works, I'll be
If it ever gets
making... if it ever downloads on my console. I'll be making my way through that, and I have once again found the joys of Minecraft.
Prepare for disappointment.
Shut up. So I'll be sucking myself into the joys of Minecraft.
Indeed.
Excellent. So once again, thank you very much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. I hope you had a good festive period and a good new year and all that, and we will see you in it. Adios, gents.
Ta-ra.
And until next time, the game's up.